Deathstroke number 18, written by Justin Jordan, art by Edgar Salazar. So, last issue, Deathstroke was being hunted by ninjas because they thought he killed somebody, which he didn't kill. Turns out it was the head of the ninjas who killed him. And then the head of the ninja clan was killed by his son, who was also the guy who's the head of the ninjas, because he actually killed him. Look, it's a whole thing. So Tomo killed his father because he doesn't like the way he's running things, and now he's taking his place. And he basically stabs him through with this sword, and he's like, all right, everybody, honor is the old way, and the old way is stupid. Does anybody disagree? If so, step up now. And nobody does. And then the master crawls over to Deathstroke as he's giving his villainous monologue, saying like, I will take over this clan and lead us into the future. And he crawls over to Deathstroke, and he's like, Deathstroke, I will give you $1 to avenge my death. And he's like, contract accepted. So now it's Tomo versus Deathstroke. And he's like, dude, you're not going to kill me. And he's like, oh, you don't understand. Whenever I take a contract, I make sure I succeed. And he drops the sword, fires at Tomo. But apparently Tomo is so dedicated to the in with the new stuff that he has taken on cybernetic enhancements on his body. So guns aren't really going to work on him, as aren't most anything else. So he's firing at Deathstroke. He's got augmented strength, so his sword just goes straight through Deathstroke's sword. And he also has to fight ninjas at the same time. So he's a little bit battered, but he's just hoping to basically outpace Tomo until whatever, like, drug or whatever that's hyping him up he's on wears off, despite the fact that there was no hint that he was ever on a drug. But regardless, Tomo stabs him through the chest, and he's like, you know that I don't stand on tradition. I'm my own man. And then Deathstroke's like, your clan might care about traditions a bit more, and they all took a contract on the guy who killed Jenner Collins or whatever, which you admitted was you. So then all the ninjas turn on Tomo, gives Deathstroke at least a little bit of an out as he's able to get his bearings again. And Tomo's just making quick work of the ninjas. He's throwing them all around the room. Nobody's able to stand up to him. But Deathstroke eventually charges all of them outside a window, and he's like, all right, we're like 100 stories up. Even Tomo, with his biological stuff, when he hits the ground, he gonna splat. So I win. But then he grabs onto the windows and a rope that he had ready, and he sees that one of the adaptments that Tomo got is basically Spider-Man powers. So he's able to just climb up these walls, and Deathstroke's like, crap, all right. So they start fighting with each other. Deathstroke's at a disadvantage because the rope holding him up. And he's basically just being thrown around by Tomo. Tomo goes and cuts the rope. Deathstroke manages to get on top of Tomo, and Tomo just holds him tight and just be like, I'm going to squeeze you to death. And he's like, oh yeah? Well, and he goes through this whole extra thing here about like, your father was honor bound, and when you're honor bound, you're willing to die for anything. You're not honor bound, so I know that you're always going to want to save your own life, which means you're never willing to take that extra step. And then all of a sudden the window shatters because of their like combined weight or whatever, and Deathstroke uses Tomo as a cushion to his own fall. So he's shattered 3 ribs and basically ruptured his spleen, but Tomo's out for the count. There's no way he's surviving it. And Deathstroke makes his way over, and he's like, I finished my contract. $1, please. And Tomo just mutters out that Lynch lied. And Deathstroke's like, Lynch? Wait a minute. I was in that book called Team 7, and there was a guy named Lynch who was leading that team. Crap. I'm tying in with Team 7. And lo and behold, this does immediately lead into Team 7 number, I think it was 5, where Deathstroke's now hunting down John Lynch. So Justin Jordan's writing both books. It doesn't surprise me that he's taking full advantage of that fact. What do I think of the ninja story? It's fine. It's totally serviceable. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. They do a whole thing on honor and how Deathstroke feels honor bound to complete these contracts, but also it's for money as well, so it's not 100% honor, but like he also didn't have to take that last contract for the head of the Sukasada clan. That was strictly out of, this was an old man who didn't deserve to die, I guess. So it plays with the honor thing a little bit. I appreciate it. A whole out with the old, in with the new, and the fact that technically, Deathstroke Slade represents the old because he is part of an older generation. I like the themes they're playing with. I just don't think they go far enough in really making this a deeper metaphor. It's pretty surface level. So overall, I give this one, I give it a solid 6.5. I don't think it's quite at 7 range, but it's setting up a future thing. I think it's interesting enough. My main concern here, though, is that now we're going on this John Lynch thing. I don't think we're ever going to see the fact that Deathstroke's son, like 4 issues ago, was going to attack him. Like, where did that just died? That's just gone. I really wanted to see how that gets resolved, but I guess we're just not doing that. But either way, yeah, this book is canceled at 20. So we got 2 issues to see how this whole Team 7 thing wraps up. And be sure to check out Team 7 to see the other side of that, because I'm assuming it's just going to be an interweaved story. So, whatever.